Welcome back to the channel. I finally got the chance to come out here and test this new Zulus 4K out. So today we're going to try to take this thing out and see how far we can actually take it out with the range finding ballistic capabilities and a Subsonic 300 Blackout. So stick around. So I finally got a chance to come out here and test out this Zulus 4K DNT optic. I haven't shot this thing at all. This is a Anderson 300 Blackout pistol, 8-inch barrel with an Omega 300 suppressor. We're going to be running the Hornady Black. It's the 208 grain ELD match. I picked the match rounds, so I'm actually trying to test out how far we can take this 300 Blackout subsonic round downrange. I'm hoping we can stretch it all the way out to 600 yards, but we'll have to check it out. So I've yet to set this up or zero it, so that's the first thing we need to do here. I've downloaded the app, but that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and set this on screen record and go ahead and go to the app. We're going to click on add device. It says up here at the top to turn on the device and turn on the Wi-Fi. So hit the power button, crank this thing up, go to connection, go to Wi-Fi, turn Wi-Fi on. It says please wait. So first things first, connect the device, confirm this is the scope, hit OK, hit join. Alright, so you guys are seeing this live in action. I've never did this before. So it says my scope is connected. I can see what's on the scope. Hopefully the screen record and everything is working. Alright, so I guess we're just going to take a shot. My goal is to zero this thing at 50 yards to start with, because we're running subsonic ammunition. Go ahead and get a good zero at 50 yards and then put all the information into the ballistic computer and let the ballistic computer do all the work down at the long range. So we're going to start with a 25-yard target and go ahead and hit it. But we can just go ahead and put some initial information in here for our information. So 0 is going to be 50 yards. Height over bore is probably going to be 2 inches. Look for our bullet here. We're going to try to find Hornady. There's Hornady. Go down to the 208 grain 300 Blackout. I'm going to pick the 208 grain AMAX, even though that's not it. And we're just going to go with the ammo is going to be Hornady 208 Black Subs. Hit save. Target distance 25 yards. Hit OK. So the ballistic computer is saying that a 25-yard zero is going to be roughly the same as a 50-yard zero. We'll have to test that out. I just didn't close it out, so I do have my chronograph here, so we can go update the velocity later. Let's send the first round. Send the first round at 50 yards. Zoom in. Adjust the picture. Let's see if I can record this live. Yep. So we are recording live. This is 25 yards. First round out of the Zulus 4K 300 Blackout. Alright, so we're going to test out the one-shot zero feature. You guys probably can't see this, but you go into zero, you hit, put the target back, put the crosshair back where you had it, and then hit freeze. Alright, so once you freeze it, you move the Y and the X axis until it's on the spot that you took, and then you go down to save. Alright, let's see how close that got it to zero. Go back in here. Alright, let's get out of the menu. Let's go ahead and start recording. See how close it got us back to the real close. Alright, so we just got a 25-yard zero on this pistol within 2 shots. So the first shot hit low right. I went into the menu. I went to zero. We went to the freeze the target, freeze the camera image. Then you go down to the X and the Y axis until you move the crosshair down to the bullet hole, and you hit save and you back out and you send another round. So it's showing average right now is 1016. That's about what it showed when we put in the ballistic computer. So let's move to 50 yards. We'll move out to 50 yards. Let me switch it to day mode. Alright. We got it switched over to day mode. It's at 50 yards now. Let's see how close to zero we are. We're at 13.5 times zoom. Let's see what 12, 15, 18, 24 times zoom. Alright, so my camera is overheating a little bit there, so I had to give it a little bit of a break. I got the recording on. Alright, so alright, I got a nice little group down there at 50 yards. I'm going to go back into the menu and try to adjust that group onto center. Menu. Zero. Let me go down and put another sticker on the target so we got a fresh paper. I don't know how good a 300 Blackout pistol is supposed to be, but this one just put up a 1-inch group at 50 yards, so I'm thinking that's not too bad. We ought to be able to stretch this out pretty far down at the long range. Test out this ballistic computer in this system. So I just took this target down, put up a fresh target at 50 yards. We re-zeroed a little bit up and a little bit left. Let's see what the next group's going to do. I think I only have 2 rounds. Now I only have 2 rounds, but we just put up an impressive 3-inch group down there. I'm going to call that 0. Let me run down there and get you guys a picture and we'll load up. We'll take it down to the long range and see if we can't stretch this thing out using the ballistic computer and see what kind of impacts we can get down there. Alright, so we just made it down here to the long range. I've set up a couple of targets out here. I have a 4-inch steel at 100 yards. And then on the big steel targets, I painted a 4-inch orange dot at 220, 330 yards, 440 yards, 550 yards. So as you've seen at the 0 range, we put up an impressive 1/2-inch group at 50 yards. Now we're going to really test out the ballistic computer capabilities because that's what I'm really interested in for this scope. So we're going to go ahead and test those out. Out here at distance, I've already got the data put into the ballistic computer. As I said at the beginning of the video, this is 208 grain ELD match. Let's go ahead and power it on. Hit the record button. Adjust the focus. So as you've seen, I put the sunshade on here. The biggest reason for that was the focus. When you got this cap, the cap was getting in the way. The cap was kind of getting in the way from when I was twisting on the focus. But with this sunshade, you can easily go ahead and and adjust the focus. I still got it in day mode. We have some rounds in. So since this thing is zeroed at 50 yards, I'm going to go ahead and have to range the target at 100, and the computer should go ahead and move the reticle to where it needs to be. I have it set in dial mode, which means it's going to move the reticle instead of trying to hold over. The green square is going to be where I'm going to laze at. And did you see the reticle move? So if you laze down here, the reticle move, laze the target. "104 yards. It's calling for a 2 MOA drop. Impact dead center. I'm just going to fire one shot at each yard line for now. I don't have a ton of ammo, so I'm just checking the drop computer. We're going to go to this target over here. That's a 4-inch orange square, 4-inch orange circle painted on the target up there. It ranged at 226. So if you see how far down the reticle went, that's how much holdover we have to do. This is 226 yards. So I think it's going to be the 2 dots down there at roughly half a mil or so low. I'm going to hold I'm going to hold 7/10 high. Alright, so I fired a couple of rounds at that big steel plate. I can't really tell where they're hitting at. If you guys could tell where they're hitting at, you can just go ahead and comment and let me know. But I'm going to go ahead and switch to the smaller plate down at the end of the berm. You can see right here in the video. We're going to go ahead and range that. Alright, so we're going to zoom out to range it because our range is way up there at the top. So zoom out, range it, 222 yards. Zoom back in. So windage was good. Both of those hit just a little bit high. Alright guys, so we hit the top of this plate out there. So I'm going to go into the ballistic computer here. Go under ballistics. Up at the top right, there's like a little menu box. Our velocity is looking pretty good. So I'm going to hit validate BC, hit the yardage. And for MRADs, it was calling for 7.6, but we only need 7.3. Let's hit calculate. It's saying our BC is 2.12, which I didn't have this bullet in the selection of bullets. This bullet wasn't in the library. I picked the 208 AMAX instead of the ELD match, so it probably does have a little bit better ballistics. So let's calculate 2.2. Let's go back. Alright, so now it's calling for a 7.2. Let's send the new ballistic data over. Sync. Not connected. Let's connect it. Ballistics. Let's hit sync. Ballistic data is synced. I need an ammo sponsor. This ammunition run me $60 to make this video showing you guys this Zulus 4K, stretching it out at distance with my 300 Blackout pistol. Alright, so record. Still getting used to this scope. We're gonna go out here. We're gonna range. .222 yards, 7.2 mil. Zoom in, see if we can get the picture a little better. Alright. A little bit better. I think we do need that 7.3. Alright, so I just went in, I updated the ballistic computer again to put us a little higher on that target by about a tenth. So we're going to go ahead and stretch it out to the next target. Just because we're wasting bullets. We got 329 yards, 12.4 mils of elevation. Look just off the left. Give it some windage. It's all over the place. Let's go for the big steel. $334 yards. 334 yards. Let's move on out. $500. Look how far above our zero. To hit 500. Zoom into 24 power. Alright, 500 yards, just too far with this pistol. Alright guys, I have 5 rounds left. I'm going to go ahead and save those for now. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me play around and plink around with it, watching the footage through the scope. But that's all I'm going to have for now on the Zulus. So stick around, I'm definitely bringing back this Zulus 4K in a future video.